Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. If you have already subscribed, then please like the video, leave your comments. We appreciate your comments. And most importantly, share the videos, get those videos out there. All right. Hope that you are. Let us know that where you're listening to this around the world. Barry Hearn's comments of the slave master and saying that he was once a slave master. Let's bring this picture up. The fantastic trio. We're going to bring this photo up of. Let me see if I can bring it up. Paint the picture. If I can get the picture up. There we go. Lovely picture. Eddie, AJ, and Barry. Well, Barry, obviously, the one that made the comments that once upon a time, 20 years ago, he would be giving out slave contracts. And technically, that would mean that he would be the slave master. And this man here in the middle would have been his slave 20 years ago. It means that Chris Eubank Sr. was probably a slave in his reckoning, Barry Hearn. Now, what are the implications in the UK? Things may just get wiped under the carpet as they do if you look at the football. It's just wiped under the carpet. And the stuff that's gone on with Raheem Sterling and the England football team. Comments like what Barry Hearn said are acceptable in the sense that they're acceptable for those in a position that who should be able to make change don't actually make the change. In other words, this is acceptable in that sense. To me, I think it's unacceptable. He's even used the word slave and slave contract in any way, shape or form. It's highly offensive as far as I'm concerned. And anybody who would have been involved or ancestors would have been involved in slavery would not appreciate the comments that were made. They were in bad taste. And although he was being honest, they're still in bad taste. The thing is, with these comments that have been made, it's not like AJ's boxing in the UK. AJ's boxing in America. And the Americans will not appreciate those comments to the point where the American media, there will be people within American media who are, let's say, not Caucasian, that will be of people of color and people of mixed heritage, that will be asking questions of Anthony Joshua. You know, your promoter said that once upon a time he was a slave, or your promoter's father said he was once a slave master. How do you feel about that question to be asked to Anthony Joshua? Eddie Hearn may come under fire, being the son of Eddie Hearn and the promoter of AJ. How far does the apple fall from the tree? This institutional racism, this way of speaking is almost like a John Wayne type of way of talking, just reckless talking. How much will this cost Matchroom? How many people will sign to Matchroom? And when they're in America now, how will other promoters, if they didn't already know, now have come out? Deontay Wilder is not going to let this slide. I'm telling you now. The minute Deontay Wilder hears this video, there's going to be absolute uproar. He's going to let Hearns know about it. Shelley Finkel will jump in and say what he's got to say. You can be guaranteed that the American promoters, if they wanted to turn the screw, now's the time they will turn the screw on the Hearns. Absolutely. But money's money. Let's be honest. Money's money, and people will turn a blind eye. But this will have deeper repercussions. And AJ, you know, he's had to change opponent. He's fighting in America. Now he's got this BS to deal with. Now, I don't know if Barry Hearn did this tactically or because he wanted to cause a stir for the AJ fight. I don't know if he said it because he wanted to cause a stir for the Rivas fight. I don't know if he said it because he wanted to be center of attention and he got drunk. I don't know why he said what he said, but what he said definitely has got the attention. And they said there's no such thing as bad press. So they're just getting the name. You see, their name was top of Twitter, Hearn, for all the wrong reasons. Not the right reasons, the wrong reasons. Of course, you know, it just, you know, things like that, where you see people that are making these sort of comments that are inflammatory comments that are promoted. They say they kick out racism, but they promote these comments so that everyone gets to hear what they say. You know, it's amazing. They say they're anti-racism, but they promote this shit. You go across social media, you'll see the amount of people promoting this shit. It's unbelievable. But AJ, what's his stance on it? What's he going to say now? Is he going to say, oh, it was just Barry, he's a bit drunk? How is he going to play? What's his PR machine going to say? Or they're going to say, no questions on Barry Hearn? Because people in the media are going to ask AJ the question who are not affiliated to Matchroom, who don't want to get press passes or get free tickets for fights or get to interview Eddie and be his best mate. How much pressure is this added to AJ? How does Dillian Whyte feel about this? Is he going to say, laugh it off and walk off? Or is the blood going to run up his head? How many people of colour in the UK were offended by Barry Hearn's comments? How many people, never mind people of colour, people who were with Barry Hearn back in the day, that means Jess Harding, who was with Barry Hearn, Herbie Hyde was a slave. That's what he's basically. 20 years ago, with Barry Hearn, Herbie Hyde would have been a slave. Jess Harding would have been a slave. Chris Eubank Sr. would have been a slave. And when Chris Eubank talked about Junior and how he wanted to manage Junior's career because he didn't want to make the mistakes that he made and be taken advantage of, then yes. And remember, it's not just about the fights now and how much they're getting paid for the fights. Who owns the intellectual property for Dillian Whyte after Dillian Whyte's career is over? Do the Hearn still have Dillian Whyte's fights? Can they make money after Dillian Whyte's well retired? Do they have rights to retire for the fights? You tell me. So, from a media perspective, it's not great. And AJ is going to have to answer these questions. When they do the press conference for Ruiz versus Joshua, those questions will come up. Somebody's going to ask them questions. And somebody's going to have to answer. I wonder what Andy Ruiz feels about it being a Mexican and an immigrant. How he deals with all that as well. And Hearn's flippant comments. It's not cool. It's not good. It can't be good for business for Matchroom. And fighters of color will, attach slavery with, and this stuff, and will ask the question: is this what you really think? So you mean if you had the opportunity, you'd enslave me now? I wonder if AJ's now sitting home with a big smile on his face, or he's rolling around in his bed in fury with anger. What would AJ's friends be telling him? Because they're not affiliated. What would they be telling him about what Barry said? I wonder what the conversation between Barry and Eddie is at the moment. Never been a fan of Matchroom, to be honest. They've had an ear about them and arrogance about them, even at press conferences and when you talk to them. But now where it all comes from. It comes from the top. And it works its way down, and now you know. And when a person comes out and says things like this, the next thing you think to yourself is, well, when you see the lager louts and, making the comments that they make, you start to wonder. It's not good. It just isn't good. But let me know what you think. You think do you think I've taken this out of proportion? Or do you think the Americans are coming? How does this mean? What does this mean globally? Making a statement like that, or is just maybe I'm taking it out of proportion and it's just a flippant comment? We should turn a blind eye, turn the other cheek. No, I don't think people are going to turn the other cheek. Not at all. And those people, maybe they will look back in their contract and say, yeah, he did have me as a slave contract. I don't know, but he ain't cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as always. Rate, subscribe, leave your comments. We're out. Thank you for watching as always. This is BWTM. All we ask is that you think about it. Take care.